Reporting for duty. Right away, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
good to go,
minerals.
sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
Pretty
minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Possibly, guy in the chat. Possibly.
SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots required.
Job finished. Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Reporting for duty. Orders received. Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain.
Not enough
SCV good
minerals.
to go, sir. I read you. I read you. Reporting for duty. Roger that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. I read you. Reporting for duty.
Okay, so he should be in that position.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Job finished. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. Roger that.
Your
Yes,
forces
sir.
are under
Roger
attack.
that. Orders received. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. You want a piece of me? Reporting for duty. Right away, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Go, go, go. I read you. Affirmative. Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain. Roger that. Job's finished. Reporting for duty. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under
Yes,
attack.
sir. Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Commander, let's move. I read you. Standing by. Go, go, go. Standing by. Outstanding. Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir. Roger that. Jacked up and good to go. Let's move. Outstanding. Yes, sir. Commander, outstanding. Go, go, go. Let's move. Go, go, go. Standing by. Go, go, go. Let's move. Go, go, go. Jacked up and good to go. I read you. Commander. I read you. Standing by. Outstanding. SCV good to go, sir. Let's move. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain.
Not enough
Yes,
minerals.
sir. I read you. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Build there. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Add-on complete.
Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Job's finished. Orders, Captain. Orders received. Roger that. SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ready
Not
to
enough
roll out.
minerals.
Orders served.
SCV
Proceed.
good to go, sir. I read you.
Identify target.
Orders, Captain. Roger that.
Destination. Identify
SCV
target.
good to go, sir. Affirmative.
he's going Wraith.
SCV good to go, sir. Job finished.
Identify target. Orders, sir.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that. I read you.
Orders, sir. Destination. Bring it on.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that. I read you.
Identify target.
I read you. Reporting for duty.
Orders,
SCV
sir.
good to go, sir.
All right. Bring it on. Yes, sir. Destination. Delighted to, sir.
Additional supply depots required.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Research complete.
I read you. Field there. Reporting for duty.
Orders, sir. What do you want? Identify target. Is that it? Destination. Delighted to, sir. Identify target.
Good to go,
Bring
sir.
it on.
SCV good to go, sir. I read you. I read you.
Additional supply depots are under attack.
Reporting for duty.
I read you, sir. Identify target. Something on your mind? Destination.
Job finished.
Something on your mind? I read you. Orders, sir. No destination.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, Captain.
Goliath online.
Destination. Yeah.
Job finished.
Channel
Job
open.
finished.
Yes, sir. Proceed.
Orders, Captain. Roger
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Something on your mind? No problem.
Orders, Captain.
Add-on complete.
Yes, sir.
Your forces are under
Something on
attack.
your mind?
Add-on complete. Unacceptable landing zone.
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir.
Add-on complete.
Roger
What do you
that.
want? Yes, sir.
Research complete.
Orders received.
Identify target.
Yes, sir.
Ready to roll
Orders,
out.
Captain. I can't stay away, sir. Orders received. Orders received. Roger that. Yes, sir.
Something on your mind? Yeah. No problem.
Job
Your
finished.
forces are under
SCV good to
attack.
go, sir.
Go ahead.
I read you, sir. Identify target. Proceeding.
Calling
I
on.
read you, sir.
Channel open.
Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Oh, are we joking here? They can't do it?
Systems functional.
They,
Reporting
so I'm gonna lose extra RCBs because they won't walk?
Something on your mind?
Yes, sir. SCV good to go,
What do
sir.
you want? Proceeding. Something on your mind?
I read you.
What do you want?
Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
What do you want? Something on your mind? Something on your mind? No problem.
Acknowledging you.
Yes, sir.
I read you.
Destination.
Good to go, sir.
Yeah. Ready to roll out. Yeah.
Upgrade complete.
Something on your mind? Ready to roll out. Yeah. Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir.
Reporting for duty.
Orders, What do sir. you want? No problem.
Good to go, sir.
Yeah, I'm going.
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir.
Insufficient phosphine gas.
Something on your mind? Destination.
I read you. I can't feel affirmative.
Ready to roll out.
Not enough
Right away,
minerals.
sir. Reporting for
Ready
duty.
to roll
Right away,
out.
sir.
What
Roger
do you
that.
want? Identify target. Orders, sir. Absolutely.
SCV good to go, sir.
Yes, sir. Moving.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for
Something
duty.
on your mind? Destination. I dig.
Acknowledging you. Go ahead, TACOM.
Yeah, I'm going.
Systems functional.
Roger that.
Destination.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Roll out.
Confirmed.
Job finished. Job finished.
Your forces are under
Ready to
attack.
roll out. Delighted to, sir. Yes, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Channel open.
Yes, sir. I read you. Orders received. Right away, sir.
Systems functional. Go ahead, TACOM.
I dig.
Your forces are under
Yeah, I'm
attack.
going.
Go ahead, TACOM.
SCV good to go, sir.
I read you, sir.
Channel open.
Yes, sir. I read you. Orders received.
Yeah? Oh, is that it? Sir. Oh, is that it? Identify target.
Go ahead,
SCV
TACOM.
good to go, sir. SCV
Yes,
good to go, sir.
Absolutely. Something on your mind?
Job finished.
Yeah?
Orders, Captain.
Go ahead, TACOM.
What do you want? I dig.
Job finished. SCV good to go, sir.
Base is under
I
attack.
read you.
Yeah? I read you. Identify target.
Channel open.
What do you want?
SCV good to go, sir.
Yeah? No problem. Destination?
Wow, 7
Identify
SCVs
target.
lost.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out. Something on your
Job
mind?
finished.
All right. Destination?
Upgrade complete.
All right. Bring it on.
Insufficient phosphine
Orders
gas.
received. Orders received.
I read you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? No problem.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that.
Your forces are under
SCV
attack.
good to go, sir.
All right. Bring it on.
What?
Affirmative.
No problem.
Affirmative.
Something on your mind? No problem.
Reporting for duty. SCV good to go, sir.
Insufficient phosphine gas.
Proceed.
Job
Something
finished.
on your mind?
Your forces are under
Destination?
attack.
Move it. Something on your mind? Yes, sir. Move it.
SCV good to go, sir. I read you.
What do you want? Yeah, I'm going. Yeah? I dig.
SCV good to go, sir.
Acknowledge HQ. TACOM locked.
Identify target. Absolutely. Identify target. Yeah? No problem.
SCV good to go, sir.
What do you want?
Channel open.
Orders, sir. Move it.
Reporting for
I
duty.
read you, sir. I read you,
SCV good to go, sir.
Destination, yes, sir. Orders, sir. I dig. Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir. Something on your mind? Yes, sir.
Systems functional.
Identify. What do you want?
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out.
Insufficient phosphine gas.
Yes, sir.
Something on your mind? Yeah? No problem.
SCV good to go, sir.
Yeah,
SCV good to go, sir.
I dig.
Reporting for duty.
Oh,
Orders,
is that
Captain.
it?
Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Yes, sir.
All right. Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir. Yeah? Ready to roll out, sir. Something on your
Insufficient
mind?
phosphine gas.
Yeah?
SCV good to go,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm going. What do you want? I dig. No problem.
Your forces are under attack.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah? All right, bring it on.
Systems
Yes,
functional.
sir. Identify target. Oh, ready to roll out. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Yes, sir. Bring it on. Nation. Identify target.
Your forces are under
I read
attack.
you. SCV good
Orders,
to go,
sir.
sir.
Ready to
Orders,
roll out.
I read you. Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Orders received.
Ready to roll out. Identify target. Absolutely. Bring it on. Move it.
Reporting for duty.
Yes,
SCV
sir.
good to go, sir.
What do you want? Something on your mind? Yes, sir. I read you, sir. Ready to roll out. I read you, sir. Identify target. Something on your mind?
SCV good to go,
Identify
sir.
target. What do you I read you, sir. No problem. Roll out.
Job finished.
Additional supply depots required.
Orders, Captain.
What do you want? Orders, sir.
I read you.
Additional supply depots required.
Captain.
I read you. Orders, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you want? What do you want?
Additional sources and ranges
Orders,
required.
sir. Delighted to, sir. No problem. Yeah? Ready to roll out.
Additional supply depots required. Our forces are under attack.
Identify targets. Identify destination. Something on your mind? Oh, yes, sir. Is that it? Destination. Yeah, I'm going. Destination. Yeah, I'm going. Destination. Yeah, I'm going.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Identify target. Orders, sir. Identify target. Ready to roll out.
Orders, Captain.
Your forces are under
Bring it
attack.
on.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Destination. All right. Bring it on. Yes, sir.
Good to go, sir.
Destination. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Systems functional.
Identify target. I read you, sir. Yes, sir. Identify target.
Affirmative.
Base is under attack.
Something on your mind? I read you. Ready to roll
Yes,
out.
sir.
What do you want? Yes, sir. Something on your mind? I dig.
Yes, sir. SCV, good
What
to
do
go,
you
sir.
want? Oh, is that it?
I read you.
Oh, is that it?
Your forces are under
Something on your
attack.
mind? I dig. No problem. I dig. Yeah, I'm
Your
going.
forces are under attack.
I read you, sir. Identify target. What do you want? Yeah?
Good to go, sir.
Identify target. Delighted to, sir. All right. Bring it on.
Research complete.
Yes, sir. Reporting for duty.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
What do you
Yes,
want?
sir. Job right away,
I
sir.
read you, sir.
Orders, Captain.
Yeah, I'm going. Yes, sir. Something on your mind? Destination. What do you want? Orders, sir. Yes, sir. What do you want? Target. Yes, sir. Something on your mind? Absolutely. No problem. Destination? Absolutely. All right. Bring it on, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Destination? What do you want? Yes, sir.
Job finished.
Yeah? Moving. Orders, sir. Absolutely. No problem. Delighted to, sir. I read you.
Your forces are under attack.
What do you want?
Fuck me.
Orders, sir. Yes, sir.
Run into two mines and you lose the game.
All right. Bring it on. Identify target. Moving.
Reporting for duty.
Identify target. Orders, sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
forces are under attack.
Yes, sir.
Reporting for duty.
All right. Bring it on. Yeah, I'm going. Oh,
Your forces are under attack.
SCV, good to go, sir. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Right away, sir.
all right. Bring it on.
Go ahead, Commander.
SCV, good to go,
Identify
sir.
target. Ready to roll out. Orders, sir. Absolutely.
Orders, Captain. Roger that.
Reporting in.
Your
SCV, good to
forces are
go,
under
sir.
attack.
What do you want? Yeah?
Standing by. Roger.
No problem.
Go ahead, Commander.
Your forces are under attack.
I read you, sir.
Reporting in.
Right away, sir.
Reporting in. Go ahead, Commander.
Reporting for duty.
Attack formation.
Reporting for duty. Orders received. Orders, Captain.
Orders, sir. Yeah? Yes, sir. Yeah?
Your forces are under attack.
Destination. Something on your mind?
Acknowledge orders. Vector locked
Yes,
in.
sir. Identify target.
Job job's finished. Order scout, job's
Go
finished.
ahead, Commander. Roger.
Your forces are under
What
attack.
do you want?
Vector locked
All
in.
right, bring it on.
Roger.
Order scout. Order scout.
Attack formation.
Ready to roll out.
Additional supply depots required.
Roger. Coordinates received.
Identify target.
Additional supply depots required.
Waiting
Yes,
on
sir. Identify
Additional supply forces are under attack.
coordinates received. Roger. Vector locked in.
Yes, sir. What do you want? Identify target. Destination. Yes, sir. Destination.
Your forces are under attack.
Go ahead.
No problem. All right, bring it on. Yeah.
Your forces are under attack.
Destination.
Standing by.
Yes, sir.
Coordinates received. Vector locked
Orders,
in.
sir. Bring it on.
Base is under attack.
Coordinates received. Go ahead, Commander. Coordinates received.
SCV good to go,
What do you
sir.
want?
Yes, sir. I read you.
Ready to roll out.
Reporting in.
Ready to roll out. Ready to roll out. Bring it on.
SCV good to
Something
go,
on your
sir.
destination. Something on your mind. Target.
Not enough energy.
What do you want? Destination.
Fuck me.
Do, sir.
I hate TVT.
Orders, sir.
Reporting in.
Destination.
Your forces are under attack.
All right. Bring it on.
Order scout.
Standing by.
All right. Bring it on.
Coordinates.
Something on your mind?
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out. Ready to roll out.
Yes, sir.
Standing by.
Your forces are under attack.
Something on your mind? All right. Bring it on. I dig. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Bring it on.
Go ahead, Commander.
Order scout.
Reporting in.
Report for duty.
Transmit coordinates.
What do you want, sir? Destination, sir. Ready to roll out.
Additional supply depots required. Your forces are under attack is
What
required.
do you want?
Order scout.
Upgrade complete.
Destination.
Additional supply depots required.
Identify target. All right,
Your
sir.
forces are under attack.
Yes, sir.
Job's
What do you
finished.
want,
For
sir?
duty. Job's finished. Job's finished.
I read you, sir. Orders, sir.
I read you. Orders received.
Your order. Ready to roll out. Something on your mind?
I read you.
What do you want? Oh, is that it? Yes, sir. Orders, sir. Really? I dig.
Orders received.
Something on your mind? I read you, sir. What do you want? No problem. Absolutely.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, I'm going. Order. What do you want? Destination, sir. Yes, sir. Destination.
Your forces are
Go
under
ahead,
attack.
HQ. Hang on, we're in for some
Transmit
job.
coordinates. Standing by.
Destination.
Go ahead, Commander. Roger.
Go ahead, HQ. In transit, HQ.
Base is under attack.
Transmit coordinates.
Ready to roll out. Identify target.
Transmit coordinates.
Ready to roll out.
Reporting in. Go ahead, Commander. Roger. Standing by. Coordinates received.
Base is under attack.
Roger. Attack formation. Vector locked in.
Input coordinates.
Ready to roll out. Absolutely.
Input coordinates.
Vector locked in.
Ready to roll out.
Attack formation. Reporting in. Roger.
Destination.
Destination.
Systems functional.
Go ahead, HQ. I copy that.
What do you want?
Go ahead, HQ. Buckle up.
Online.
I'm listening.
Identify target.
Destination. Go
Not
ahead,
enough
HQ.
energy.
Destination.
Ready to roll
I copy
out.
that. Input coordinates. In transit,
Roll
HQ.
out.
Coordinates. Sector locked in.
Destination in the 555. In transit, HQ.
Standing by. Roger.
In transit, HQ. Buckle up.
Proceeding. Something on your mind?
Confirmed.
No problem.
Destination.
Confirmed.
Something on your mind?
Your forces are under attack.
Fuck.
Strap yourself in, boys.
Yeah, I'm going.
Input coordinates in the 555.
Your forces are under attack.
Strap yourself in, boys.
Transmit course.
Something on your mind? No problem. Orders, sir. Yes, sir.
Target designated. Acknowledged, HQ. Channel open.
Your forces are under
Go
attack.
ahead, HQ. In transit, HQ.
Yeah?
Go ahead,
Orders, sir. Destination, identify target. Destination,
Not enough energy.
ready to roll
Systems
out.
functional.
Orders, sir.
Can I
Yes,
take
sir.
your order?
Not enough energy.
I hate this so much.
Forces are under attack.
I hate this so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not enough energy.
Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir. Ready to roll out. Identify target. Orders, sir.
I'm listening. I copy that. In the
Yes, sir.
555. Input coordinates.
Not enough
Input
minerals.
coordinates. Hang on, we're in for some chops. I copy that. I'm listening. Input coordinates.
Identify target on your
Input
mind.
coordinates.
Channel open. Navcom locked.
Go ahead, HQ.
Comlink online.
Destination.
Not enough
Input
energy.
coordinates. Hang on, we're in for some chops. I'm listening. Destination. I copy that. In the 555. Hang on, we're in for some chops. Buckle up. Input coordinates. Go ahead, HQ.
Proceeding.
Input
Not enough
coordinates.
minerals.
I'm listening.
Orders, Captain?
My opponent was good. He knew what he was doing. I'm really, really frustrated with what occurred right here. Because we hit a point where controlling, either he controls this one or I control this one, and whoever controls that one has control of almost the entire map. This map gets split up on the ledges, right? So maybe with my initial push, I should have thought of taking this area and this area, but then when I had to back up to this area after he broke this area, I was still fine. And I came to take this area, but he rushed up, and then I was like, okay, pull back, and I'll just, like, control, like, right here or so. But there was, like, 3 mines there that detonated on my 6 tanks. So I just, all my units got cleared immediately. And from there, it actually becomes impossible because it's +2. And no one has a big enough economy to do anything other than try to sneak around with dropships. Okay, so, yeah. Here, initially, I think I should have pulled these units back to here. Because I have a couple mines laid here. And Wraith tank pushes back Goliath barracks tank. So he just gets a slight vision advantage there. This is like really, really standard what we're looking at the moment. And he's pretty much nailing his build. Like, that's a nice quick science facility. Very good. And I feel like I'm playing well also. Like, expanding a little bit quicker than him. One less fact, but I'm playing the contain. Yeah, yeah. I needed to pull back slightly and utilize this high ground. Like 2 tanks up here, and my tanks here, and then a couple mines that are still here. And that becomes much, much harder to break. It takes him a lot longer. Like, eventually he should be able to push it back. Something like this I'm just looking to be cost efficient with, for the most part. Hey, Plague of the Earth, gifted sub, thanks. Yeah, see, that became a bit more efficient for him, that little clear right there. The first one was okay for me, but not perfect. But you can see, like, he has a bit more army supply because he's on 5 fact and pumping vultures. And he's also got a starport doing a little bit of production. But I'm doing really well worker-wise. Yeah, there's some very good things going on for me as well. These 2 vultures running by was very, very painful, though. I lost like 7 SCVs to those. And I knew this drop was going to come. And I think I had a Goliath right here. But I think he laid a mine next to it. I should have moved this eBay out a little bit. I think I probably clicked it, like, quickly down here to try to make it float over here to see the dropship coming in, so the Goliath has some spotting as well. And I have a bit more advanced notice, and I can micro here better. But I probably just misclicked and clicked it there. Because, right, I built it here, and then I was like, okay, move. You know, I'm doing shit. So yeah, he got a mine on that, which actually killed a lot of SCVs. See, I was up SCVs a moment ago. I had like near 60. So I took some reasonably big SCV damage. Okay, so yeah, at this point, it's a little bit hard, right? Because if you go gas expand against gasless expand, the gasless expand will always out macro you in the mid game. But you can have, like, for instance, you could have more siege tanks. Like, you can kind of choose what you want to do with the gas expand, like what do you want to have more of. Generally, it's going to be siege tanks. So I kind of screwed this up by not utilizing my siege tanks correctly. Like, I used them correctly in the beginning, kind of just giving him a contain and giving him a tough situation to get out of. But I didn't back them up quickly enough here. But I was still okay at this point. So see, this is a good move from him. He's just cutting off this area, because this is basically impossible to break, ever. Because of the little bridge. You can't get over the bridges in TPT. You saw I used 36 supply and couldn't break it against 2 siege tanks. Literally, that happened. So now I've backed up to the high ground, but I should have done this. I should have done this earlier. This is a good learning game, because he actually was good and played well. Yeah. This is where I lose a lot of TVTs right now, is trying to break tank lines that I shouldn't be trying to break. So his +2 is a little bit ahead of mine. That's good for him. Now you can see there's like this part of the game is happening right now. Now I saw he had a bunch of vultures up here, and that's why I tried to break this, because it's still before +2. So you still have a chance to break. Yeah, this was a bit of a sloppy attempt. That wasn't very good for me. Okay, so when you both kind of figure out that you can't break each other's tank lines on this map anymore, I think it just becomes holding as many of these high ground ridges as you possibly can. And you want to hold the two facing your opponent. You want to get them into, like, a V shape. Right? So, like, for instance, if I'm holding this one and this one, he's screwed. If he's holding this one and this one, I'm screwed. And since we're both sharing the bottom, anyone who holds both these is screwing the other person. Basically, with that, you can't send your army over bridges and around like that. It's basically, it's pointless. It's impossible. So you need flow of the center. And as soon as flow of the center goes away, it just becomes a turtle fest. Where you're just trying to block dropships and wraiths. Because the tanks can't break high ground plus 2 tanks. It's like, it can't. You're so cost inefficient. You have to bring, like, your whole army to break one ledge, and then they can move the rest of their army and into an even more powerful position. Guys, I get angry and frustrated losing to idiots, and I'm frustrated at this loss, but I can't be too angry. He's a good player. I think he played well. These few mines right here, though, this really screws me. Let's speed this up a little bit and look at that moment. Okay, so see here, I pull back, I take this ledge, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can take that ledge. I should have cleared the mines first before moving my tanks, because he sees that I'm moving, so he moves immediately. See? Okay, so here's the thing, too. I knew there were some mines there, and I was trying to clear them, but my tanks went this way, like, from here to here. I'm still not used to the pathing around the center on this map. So, see this? He starts coming up. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's going to take this, but that doesn't mean it's lost for me, right? If I can still secure this side of the map, he's only up one, well, not even really one base. Like, he'll control a little bit more of the map, but this expansion would naturally go to me because of the bridge. It would be unbreakable. You put like 2-3 tanks there and a couple turrets. So my idea was, okay, I pull back here, I siege, I reinforce, I just have a bigger set of siege tanks here, a smaller set here, and I have half the map, and then he has half the map. And I had like this kind of sneak expand going for a little bit, so I had some good things going on. But this is where I lose the game, right here. So far it's been a pretty decent game. A little bit back and forth. Right there. See those 2 tanks, those 2 mines that hit? So now my tanks basically all die in one shot. It's very, very painful. But yeah. This was also led to from some other things, some of my poor breaks. But yeah, that's too bad. At this moment where he clears this and then takes this high ground, there's not much coming back. I don't have dropship tech ready. I was going into Wraith because I didn't think that this was going to occur. A good rule of thumb is if you are containing your opponent or you both have equal parts of the map, Wraiths are good. If you are contained, Wraiths are bad. Wraiths become very all-in if you are contained and your opponent has more map. Because they are generally not cost-efficient. They're generally like a more tempo, momentum-based type of unit. And they can be very good, obviously, against dropships and stuff, which is what the contained player wants to go for. So, when I get contained and I've already chosen the Wraith route, like, for instance, if he contains here, but I've already chosen dropships, like, say I decided, okay, let's go dropships from here, which is not my style, I'm actually totally fine in this spot still. Because I have up here, so I can actually do things like ferry a couple tanks here, right? And then 4 dropships, bring them over here, put 4 dropships of tanks and build some turrets here, and suddenly I have 3 of the corner bases, right? And if you have this corner, it's going to be very hard to break. He'll eventually break it, but it gives me a lot of time to maneuver around the map. But yeah, this moment is, that's where I lost. Kath Detox, thanks for the sub. Hard game. I already spoke to this guy in the chat. He was good. He knew what he was doing. He made good moves. He had a good build order. He basically hit everything he needed to hit and took the right areas and broke tank lines correctly. He dropped at the right times and stuff. He was a good player. Every now and then you hit one. That's not a complete bumbling fool that just stumbles their way into victory. Sometimes someone knows what they're doing.